And you're now watching Qnews, and here are the top stories for this hour. The Palestinian government has praised Egypt's role in backing Palestinian rights, coordinating aid and pushing for a lasting ceasefire in Gaza. Palestinian officials have commended President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and the Egyptian government for their leadership in supporting a Gaza ceasefire and coordinating humanitarian aid. Egypt was also praised for preparing an international conference to rebuild Gaza, and the Palestinian government expressed appreciation for Egypt's firm rejection of forced displacement and its continued support despite political and media pressure. And Jordan's army has carried out 7 airdrops, delivering 57 tons of aid to Gaza with support from several international partners. Jordan, alongside the UAE, Germany, France and Spain, have airdropped 57 tons of aid into Gaza, including food and infant formula. The operation comes amid warnings of famine and rising child deaths due to the restricted access to humanitarian relief. A global hunger monitor recently reported worsening conditions across the territory despite international outrage over an offensive that has killed more than 60,000 Palestinians. Israel continues to reject mounting criticism. And Gaza health authorities say over 60,400 Palestinians have been killed since the start of the Israeli attacks, with casualties continuing to rise. Health officials in Gaza report that Israeli military operations have now killed more than 60,400 people and injured over 148,700 since the war began. In the past 24 hours alone, 98 Palestinians were killed and 1,079 wounded amid ongoing bombardment. The figures reflect the growing humanitarian toll in the enclave as strikes continue across civilian areas. And families of Israeli detainees held by Hamas staged a protest in Tel Aviv, urging a comprehensive deal to end the war and secure the captives' release. Protesters surrounded themselves with barbed wire in a symbolic act reflecting the plight of the detainees. They criticized the Israeli government's failure to free all captives and raised concerns over the detainees' reported hunger. And Egypt's National Elections Authority has confirmed smooth voting on the second day of the 2025 Senate elections for the Egyptians abroad, with no reported issues. The National Elections Authority maintains constant communication with Egyptian embassies and consulates overseeing polling stations. Voting proceeded efficiently within minutes, and the NEA will continue liaising with overseas missions until voting concludes and counting begins, preparing to submit official results. And Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has praised the strong historic ties between Tehran and Islamabad, aiming to boost bilateral trade to $10 billion annually. And he emphasized expanding border trade via land, air and sea, linking Iran to the Silk Road in Europe through Pakistan. Highlighting Pakistan's condemnation of recent Israeli and U.S. aggression against Iran, Pezeshkian stressed regional security cooperation and unity against divisive forces. And his 2-day trip includes cultural visits and high-level meetings with Pakistani leaders to strengthen economic security and political relations. Ukraine's intelligence agency says it struck a military-linked electronics factory in Penza, Russia, as verified video shows smoke rising after a drone sighting. A drone was seen flying over Penza, Russia, moments before an explosion and rising smoke. A video footage has showed the aftermath of what Ukraine's SBU says was a strike on a military electronics facility. Ukraine's unmanned systems forces also claimed attacks on Russian oil sites and a drone airfield, and the USF, which specializes in long-range drone warfare, did not reveal strike methods. Russia has not issued an official response yet. Ukraine's president has condemned Russia's deadly strike on Kiev as one of the most brutal attacks on the capital. President Vladimir Zelensky says the Russian attack on Kiev had no military purpose and struck homes and businesses and even a mosque. The overnight death toll rose to 31 after rescuers recovered more bodies from a collapsed apartment block. Thursday's strike involved more than 300 drones and 8 missiles, wounding at least 159 people. And it's the deadliest attack on the capital this year.
Це був один із найбільш жорстоких російських ударів по Києву. 159 людей постраждали.
And this concludes our top stories for this hour. And thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more updates on Q News.